How about a magic trick? Ta-da! It's gone.
Undecision. That's all it takes for a hero to become a villain, or a villain to become a hero. The most dangerous enemies aren't necessarily the ones standing against you. They're also the ones standing with you, the ones that look just like you. Maybe they've just taken one step too far. Today we're going to be looking at the mirror villain, which is never really the opposite of the hero. They're similar in a lot of ways, but also very different. They have the same pain, maybe the same hunger, but they were shaped by different choices. We're going to be looking at three sorts of mirrors today: the Joker and Batman, Blackbeard and Luffy, L and Light. The Joker and Batman are both really big fans of chaos, although they apply their own little twist to it.
There's only one spot open right now, so we're gonna have tryouts. Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. He can't feel the next.
Blackbeard and Luffy are both looking for freedom, but they also go about it in very different ways: heart and loyalty, or without mercy.
I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
That's enough out of you!
Finally, L and Light are the most similar characters of these. I don't even know which one I should put in the hero category and which one's the villain. It's all about perspective in the end.
安心しろヤガミ。キラは負けず嫌いだが、キラでなくとも試合に勝ちたいと思うのが大多数だ。
The archetype of the mirror villain focuses on showing the similarities between the protagonist and the villain in question. They usually start at some crossroad and not necessarily already evil, but then they just turn when the hero does not. Long ago, the Joker and Batman suffered a great deal of trauma. One saw tragedy and decided to build a code on how to punish the criminals. The other saw tragedy and decided to just burn it all. Blackbeard and Luffy also share a dream, the dream of freedom, but they're pursuing it in different ways. While early in the story, Blackbeard is this sort of goofy character, his tendencies become more and more evil, contrasting even more with what Luffy is, who becomes more and more the representation of light and everything positive.
This chain bites forever!
L and Light, once again, are the most obvious example of this. Both of them are geniuses, prodigies, capable of great feats, and they could do a lot of good as well as a lot of bad. Light changed by getting the Death Note into his hands, and maybe that corrupted him. However, one thing was never in doubt. Light is the only one who can understand L, and L is the only one who can understand Light. They're almost siblings that were separated at birth. That's how similar they are. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it if you click that subscribe button. It really helps with the algorithm, and we're really close to 500 subscribers. What I find even more fascinating is that typically, the hero and the mirror villain will share some of the same tools. For example, Joker and Batman are both masters of fear. They just use it for a different reason. Batman uses fear to protect. He scares criminals into not being criminals. The Joker, on the other hand, is more about dismantling that idea of protection. He wants to show the ugliness to the world.
You want order in Gotham. Batman must take off his mask and turn himself in.
And he does it with the same fear. Blackbeard and Luffy always talk about their dream, although they want to teach them in different ways. Who knows if Luffy, without his crew, would have developed into something similar. L and Light both use their minds to dominate their opponents, so when they find someone who's an equal match, which one is for the other, they push one another in their intellectual battles.
向きになって勝ちに行くとキラっぽいか。だからといってわざと負ければ、向きになって勝ちに行くとキラっぽいと思われるから、わざと負けるところがまたキラっぽいだろ。
They have the same mind, similar drive. The only thing that's different is the aim. It's always interesting to see these stories reach a climax. The hero and his mirror villain are doomed to fight. And for the hero, that fight always comes at a great cost.
And you didn't disappoint. You let 5 people die. Then, you let Dent take your place. Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
Batman had to question his entire existence fighting the Joker in The Dark Knight. Light loses his last piece of humanity when L dies. He was his last friend, his only friend, the only one who truly could understand him.
しいですね。え？もうすぐお別れです。
Although we haven't seen a direct confrontation between Blackbeard and Luffy, I'm sure that when that happens, we'll see some serious consequences for the crew. the line between hero and villain can be very thin.
You complete me.
You're garbage who kills for money.
Don't talk like one of them. You're not.
Not about money. It's about sending a message.
And the existence of the mirror villain is very important because it shows us that it could have been otherwise for the hero.
See, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
That he was not necessarily destined to be good, that there are other versions of him that turned out to be a big problem. Sometimes they simply allow the hero to show their valor by making the decision that was unexpected from the mirror villain.
You'll be in a better jail forever.
Maybe we could share one.
Like when Batman refuses to kill him, despite all he's done. A mirror villain is truly a test of identity. Defeat them and you prove yourself. Fail? Maybe you're just on the other side of the glass. Next time you watch a villain and you're thinking they have some great ideas, maybe you're looking at the hero within them, or the villain within you. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. We're so close to 500 subscribers, so if you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you press that like button and subscribe to my channel. I make a whole bunch of random videos and I hope I can entertain you the same way as this one. Alright, cheers guys.
Here's my